Summary tab is the first tab within any patient profile on Glooko. Here you have the patient's name, date of birth, and their type of diabetes. You can also create PDF reports which can be manually uploaded to their electronic health records to provide additional context. Below that, we have the time selector. Here, using the drop-down, you can select between a variety of time periods from 1 day to 90 days, and even custom time ranges. You can even select between blood glucose data and CGM data using the selector on the right-hand side. Using the arrows below, you can navigate between different time periods in the increments selected in the time drop-down box above. As we continue to scroll, you can see that we have the glucose data for CGM. Here we have each reading sorted into the very high to very low brackets. Each bracket is defined on the right-hand side and is accompanied by useful metrics such as the percentage of time that the CGM was active over the duration selected. We can also see other metrics such as the glucose management indicator, the averages, as well as the highest and lowest blood glucose readings within this time period. As we continue to scroll, for CGM, you'll see that we are presented with an Agp graph. This is a statistical representation of a large number of CGM results taken over the duration selected, condensed down into a single 24-hour period. Here you can see the dark line indicating the median and the various shaded areas showing the statistical distribution. As we look towards the right-hand side of the Summary tab, you can see Insulin Data. Here we have the average total daily basal dose and bolus dose, and also this percentage split between each. We can see the total daily dose on average, as well as the percentage of overrides that this patient is doing using, in this case, their insulin pump. Overrides will not always be available, as will some other metrics. Metrics will be displayed based on the availability of the data in the devices that that patient is using. As we continue to scroll, you can find dietary information for average carbs per day and the number of entries. And below that, we finally have the history section. Here we have all the events listed for the time period selected, including food, blood glucose results, and any insulin use. Using the filter at the top, we can select between specific categories of events that we may wish to review in greater detail. This is fantastic for finding days where a patient has perhaps needed more support, and they can then find these instances and discuss them in greater detail with their clinician during their next consultation.